All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. We're going to talk about this Dazn melee nonsense ridiculousness in this video. Boy. Let that be Al Haymon that puts on an event like that and see if the mainstream media does not run them all up and down the block over it. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also special thank you to everybody that joins the Patreon and everybody that is a channel member, and also people that come by the live streams Monday through Friday right around 11:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. Special thank you to everybody that comes by OG Boxing Talk and my OG Boxing Talk channel members and LDBC community support members, Fanon's favorite community, channel members. Thank you guys so much. We'll be there, OG Boxing Talk, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. to wrap up our week in boxing with OGs, KQKC, Trap House Boxing, Blood Boxing, and my man Curtis Anderson, the boxing historian. All right. Now, I know y'all didn't watch that fight last night. Most of the people, I'm going to sit back and relax because I'm going to talk a little ish in this one. Boy, let that be Al Haymon that did what Eddie Hearn just did. That was a debacle. It was a shameful debacle. The fight card that took place in Arizona. See, when it's just a shame from beginning to end. First of all, why was this thing with Julio Cesar Chavez and Daniel Jacobs in Arizona to begin with? Because Julio Cesar Chavez had a breakdown and refused to be tested by the state of Nevada, and the state of Nevada was like, had drug testers waiting for him to test him, and he ran out the back door and refused to be tested. Okay, now if that was anybody else, if it was anybody else in any other circumstance, other than Canelo, Canelo all would have been forgiven, but Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Is allowed to fight in the state of Nevada in the state of Arizona after Nevada suspends him. A federal judge says, hey, we're going to issue a temporary restraining order that keep the Nevada State Athletic Commission from suspending Julio Cesar Chavez so he can go fight in Arizona. Right now, because he passed a drug test that happened in Arizona. Now, anybody that follows this stuff at all knows that the stuff that these people are doping on have half-lives. And if you refuse to take a test that second, then if you wait a day, what you might have tested positive for, you won't test positive for anymore because now it's out of your system, right? But doesn't matter. Julio Cesar Chavez is allowed to fight. Now, besides the fact that I don't think he should have been allowed to fight because of the drug test, he shouldn't have been allowed to fight Daniel Jacobs because Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is a bum. Because he's trash. He's trash. He's been trash for years. And I have no idea in the world why Daniel Jacobs was fighting him to begin with. This was a non-competitive gimmick. The fight itself was a gimmick. You had a name in Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., somebody that had fought, who at one point in time lucked his way into a version of the middleweight championship. A guy that got beat stem to stern by Sergio Martinez, but then hurt him at the very end to get like a moral victory out of that. The dude got beat pillar to post by Canelo Alvarez because of his name. The dude continues to get shots because of his name, but he's just not a very good fighter. I think he's had one fight in 2 years. Then he comes in and he misses weight. So it's not only enough that he's not a very good fighter and that he refused to take a drug test and somehow got a temporary restraining order against the Nevada State Athletic Commission, he then misses weight. by 5 pounds, nowhere even close to making weight. So he has to give up $1 million to Daniel Jacobs, right? So with all of that stuff, here we come to the fight. He comes in looking like melted ice cream, looking like melted Italian ice with this blonde hair and a blue streak in the middle, looking straight up crazy. Goes into the ring, gets beat up. It was just, the fight wasn't even close. And then, the pièce de la, what is it? Pièce de la résistance. Anyway, whatever was the greatest shit I've ever seen was the people, he quits. He has a halfway decent round, quits. They make up 2 different stories why he quits. His daddy's sitting on the side with his face like this. And the whole place, I'm so proud of you, Arizona. I'm so proud of you, Arizona. They all grab pop cans or pop bottles, whatever they got, start chucking it into the ring, dude. They had to evacuate the whole place, man. So I could not have thought of a sweeter ending to the farce that card was from the beginning. Now, like I said, I did enjoy one fight on that card. Little Martinez dude, the little Mexican dude, little itty bitty Mexican dude, little flyweight cat was beating the tar out of this dude from, I think, Argentina. That was funny because he was quick-handed, kept switching from southpaw to orthodox. I also loved his last fight when he beat up on the other little itty bitty guy from little itty bitty, child-sized fighter from Great Britain, Charlie Edwards. He beat him half to death. Oh man, it was hilarious. Every time I see this little dude, I just think of like Tattoo from Fantasy Island. Rolling up and whooping up on people, man. It was hilarious. That was the only good thing about that whole card, man. Liam Walsh versus whoever Liam Smith fought. That's like, come on, man. What are these guys even doing over here? This makes no sense. But to see that fight fall apart like that, man, I was just dying of laughter because it was like, look, man, you didn't get out scot clean. Okay, if that fight had been halfway exciting, we would have heard what a great card it is. Dude, the fight should have never started. That dude should have never been fighting. Julio Cesar Chavez should have never fought. Clearly, this dude got some mental issues too. But it ends the way it deserved to end, the debacle. Now, I want to ask you guys very seriously, if that was a Fox card, and Jamal Charlo was beating the tar out of Brandon Adams and Brandon Adams quit, and there was cans getting thrown, shoes getting thrown in there. They hitting Lennox Lewis upside the head with hats and all kind of other crazy pop cans. Do you not think that they would have held that against Fox for having put on such a terrible show, such a farce that fell apart because they had a guy that should have never been in the ring in the first part, have a mental breakdown and quit after 5 rounds, steal everybody's money, and have everybody in the audience go through an entire temper tantrum, and they can't even do post-fight interview. Well, I guess they did do a post-fight interview with Daniel Jacobs, but Daniel Jacobs was sitting there with security all around him, just looking crazy. At the end, Kennedy was ticked off. Eddie Hearn tried to slide onto the camera, say a couple good words. Kenny was like, no, we got to get out of here, man. Somebody's going to hit me with a bottle pretty soon. It was absolutely hilarious. And that's what you get, man. That's what you get. Trying to sneak the system. First of all, I had all kind of reasons, all kind of warnings not to make that fight. All kind of warnings. He didn't take a drug test. Oh, call the fight off. No, we're not going to call the fight off. Right? We're not going to call the fight off. He gets suspended in the state of Nevada. No, we're not going to call the fight off. He misses weight. Oh, no, we're not going to call the fight off. Or should I put it this way first? He doesn't deserve the fight because he ain't beat anybody in forever. And he's going to get in there against Daniel Jacobs and it's going to be a one-sided massacre. Oh, we don't care if it's a one-sided massacre or not. He's a big name. Make the fight. Okay, the big name that should have never been in there at the beginning just refused to take a drug test. Maybe you should stop the fight now. No, we're not going to stop the fight now. Okay, well, the big the dude that shouldn't be in there anyway because he's going to get whooped and isn't good enough to beat Daniel Jacobs. It's going to be a one-sided massacre anyway. who failed the drug test, who refused to take a drug test. He then misses weight. Oh, well, we don't care. He misses weight. So what? Just pay a penalty and we get him in the ring. Okay. Strike one, strike two, strike three, disaster. If any point in time in that line, they would have said, let's not let Julio Cesar Chavez fight, then you would not have had any of that debacle. You wouldn't have had any of that craziness. You would have actually been able to probably see a halfway decent fight between Daniel Jacobs and a better fighter in Gabriel Rosado. Gabriel Rosado, although he is like professionally getting beat, he's a good fighter. He's a better fighter than Julio Cesar Chavez is, who, by the way, looked like he walked in the ring at 220 pounds. It's just crazy, dude. Man, Dazn, you got to do better, man. You got to stop with the gimmicks, man. That gimmick backfired like can be. Wow. What a gimmick, and a gimmick that backfired. Anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.